Welcome back, guys. This is Big O, and I'm here with Matt and Frank,
What's
and
going
we're
on,
playing
guys?
Final Fantasy 1.
And
We're
I'm on a
ready
boat.
to rock.
I'm on a boat.
I'm
So
on
when
a
he's like,
boat.
"Here, take my ship," does he just give you the keys to the ship? Is it like,
there's just a yacht in the background.
yeah, you just look and it's like $1 million yacht. It just breaks in. Nice.
Stop it.
There's only
Come
4 of you
on.
guys. How the fuck are you guys gonna sail one of his pirate ships?
Because it's a yacht. It's self-automated.
Oh,
They're-
I'm so sorry. I had
they're
no
just-
idea.
They're just gonna put it on cruise control, and they're gonna stay on the top deck, just chilling, getting a suntan.
It's kind of like, here, take my ship, and you're like, what ship? He's like, and then it's gonna be one of that air yacht you showed me the other day. Fucking air with a beach party chicks at 40,000 altitudes.
Oh my
So-
god!
nah.
In the mountains with
It's
all
in the
the
mountains,
ice, just it's gotta be
No, I-
very
I
cold
think-
up there.
I think what's gonna happen is he's like, "Here's take my boat." You get the keys, and then you get on, and there's Will Ferrell from Step Brothers with this other guy,
Oh my god!
and they're just you guys start doing a video, or it's like the Long Island, and they're there just an I'm on a boat. That'd be the best thing ever.
It'd
But
be the best
Oh,
thing.
Oscar hasn't seen this yet, has he? When they wake up.
Oh no.
This
do
is
they like do a
fantastic.
little prance around thing? Is that what happens?
Uh,
Oh,
a
you'll
quick
see.
exercise?
Well, first a quick exercise before going to bed.
Oh wait, they didn't do that.
Oh, they don't do like little like stretching exercises or something.
Yeah, they do before they go to bed. But when they wake up, it's even better.
They do the little spin I'm awake thing. Is that what happens? No.
We'll find
I
out.
guess you'll see, won't you?
Boom.
Oh, there we go. Whee!
And then, of course, Chad consumes them all.
I eat them all of you into my
He
body.
ate
Are you
Chode's
sure that-
goddamn.
how do you know that's not chode?
Listen, I know they're my
Because
babies.
Chad's the first person. Right?
Well, hey, sure, we'll go with that. I'm just saying, chode might be this. Chode might right now be the one in charge, and you totally dissed him. I'm gonna point that out.
You're gonna get that steel, increase the.
You better believe it.
Nice.
Ew.
So, as of right now, it seems that Chad is your strongest guy, right?
He's just dominating.
He's
But
right.
Chode
He
has
is just
more-
fucking shit up.
Does chode have more HP, or is it Chad that
Chode
has
has more HP. Chad does more damage.
Ah. So what are the orbs next to the characters?
I
Is that
think they
just
can.
like-
I think they can only have an X number of spells.
Oh yeah,
per
like
category.
they could only have like a certain number of level spells, right? So they could only have 3 level 2 spells, probably 3 level 3 or whatever.
Yeah, something.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they have 3 of each level. Yeah.
Ah. So they give you an option of 4, and it's basically Sophie's choice. One of them has to go die in the concentration camp.
Or you could
Yeah,
still.
that's really the only way.
Oh, you can't put it like in like an inventory.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think.
So
I
wait,
think
so
it
what
goes
happens
the
to the one
gas
you
chamber.
that you purchase? Does it just disappear? If like let's say you decide to get Invis 1 instead of a lamp that you purchased in the beginning.
Now,
Does it
what does
disappear?
Invis 1 do?
It increases my evasion by 40 points. Let's see what happens. Oh nope, I learned all I can. It just said
Wah-wah.
nope.
You can't do it.
Wow.
Now, if you get struck by lightning, you're screwed. You're done.
Done,
Nothing
so.
can happen at this point.
And that's it. Just might as well restart the whole game.
Where's his boat?
Just might as
Yeah,
well
see?
just you know what? Fuck it. Final Fantasy 6. Let's do it.
Just done.
Just skip it. Hey,
That's really the game I prefer.
in all honesty, I wanted him to play Final Fantasy IV only because is that the one that they do the Choco Buckle, or is it
Oh,
with the little chocobo that comes out and dances?
yeah, it's the Choco Mamba.
Hmm. Yes.
Choco.
Oh,
There's your ship.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
Do you? Oh, you get into fights here too? Crazy.
Let's see what kind of bananas we fight.
Yeah, they
Okay.
did.
What the hell is that thing?
Okay.
God, I didn't. Am I sailing in the seas of Eldritch terror?
That guy's eyes should be really red. Oh, there's your
Just-
lightning.
He just lightning. Like he shot me a dirty look.
That guy's
His name
eyes
is
should be red. I mean, they're
Googler.
always open underwater
I have,
in the sea.
His
I
name
have
is
to admit,
Googler.
the ancestors of the One Eyes really were kind of freaky.
Clear eyes gets rid of red eyes.
Oh, the pirates are trying to get their ship back. Go!
Where did they come from?
The poop deck.
Yar.
They were hiding out. They're stowaways.
Get them.
So who's driving the boat right now?
That's a good question.
Who drive boat? Bear drive boat.
Bear drive boat, yeah.
How
Big
can I-
American party.
Good time for
Good time for everybody. All right, well, you're getting some nice gill here, finally.
Well, they were pirates. They should have had some gill on them.
How much was the inn on the last one? 50?
50. Yeah,
This one's probably going to be, what, like 80 or 100?
something like that. What's this? Oh,
That's shallow water.
Nope, that's fresh water. You can't go that way.
What's that?
The ship wasn't automated for that.
Oh, what the?
Oh, so those are our docks, the fake
The fake.
the
bridges.
fake edges.
He stared at you with his gaze.
Longingly.
Oh my.
I have
Oh
to.
man, he made me crave McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Wow.
Oh yes, I get it my way.
Where are my $1 chicken McNuggets?
Is this it?
Is this all?
What?
Is this
The area? No.
is this where it happens?
Do you know where I'm supposed to go next, man?
No, I think to another cave, right?
I was
The
supposed to
answer
get
to
some.
the answer to that is no.
That cave. What happened to that cave up top?
I went there, and I don't know if you noticed, but they were just dancing brooms.
Isn't that amazing though? That's why I told
So
you to go there.
So basically, you went to go visit Yin said. That's what happened.
Yeah, it was pretty much the inverse Disney guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yin said, he's there. He's the guy who gives Mickey. Mickey steals his hat. Suddenly, brooms are walking.
There should be a town around there somewhere.
Which, oddly enough, Yin said was also the name of the doctor.
I think you were right
Tony
there
Stark
in
was,
that port.
taught with.
The Doctor of what?
In Marvel Comics, Yin said was also, I believe, the name of the guy that Tony Stark was kept captive with when he got hit by the shrapnel and then he got captured. Yin said it's the one that helped him create the arc actor.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
How
Which
do you like this guy, Oscar, right here? The Reverse Hulk.
the Reverse Hulk, the ogre.
The purple skin and green pants.
My purple skin of rage.
Oh, well, Matt, what was it that you asked me one day? Who could take out the Hulk in the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah, if there was somebody that can actually. Oh, and also, well, there was two questions on part of that. It was, what's the comparison of the strength between the Thing and the Hulk, and then is there anybody in the MCU that could actually compete with him strength-wise with the Hulk?
Okay, so first Thing and the Hulk. Thing is roughly 75 to 100 tons, or power class 75 to 100, which means usually he maxes out around the 100 tons. Though he's Ben Grimm, so he's a grappler. He tends to be able to fight people that are bigger than him. That was always the big thing back when he was a boy on Yancey Street. So he tends to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Hulk up to a certain level. But the Hulk is well, it depends. What Hulk are you asking about? Green Hulk, Gray Hulk, Professor Hulk.
Okay,
Planet
don't get all
Hulk.
fucking technical on me here, bro.
Okay, Savage Hulk, Green Hulk, basic one that most people know.
Yeah, the standard Hulk that's in the movies and whatnot.
His class is 100, which means he can lift 100 tons. But the angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. So he's gotten angry enough to the point that he's been able, and most people know this if they know the comic, he's been able to lift a mountain that weighed 150 billion tons.
150 billion?
Billion, with the B.
So
That
100 tons is normal. 150 billion tons.
But there's been points in time he's been there was this comic book that it was like the cover, and it says Hulk is lifting 150 billion ton mountain over his head, and he's not happy because obviously he must have been pretty pissed off to be holding that much weight. And the whole thing is he's holding it above a bunch of heroes who got trapped under it because it was the Molecule Man. The character Molecule Man got the ability to manipulate things at a molecular level. He's always had that to a certain extent, but his powers got like kind of increased. So he
Hmm.
basically created a mountain out of thin air and dropped it on top of the heroes. And the
Overkill
Hulk
much?
was then like, huh?
Overkill much?
Oh yeah.
Just a
But
tad.
so the Hulk basically was holding that above so it wouldn't fall on top of it. So but yeah, like the Hulk.
Interesting.
And the Hulk's been known, like everyone, that's the big thing, which is why Superman and the Hulk are always compared to each other in certain aspects because of strength level. Because people are like, oh, Superman could end up moving a planet. And then people are like, well, yeah, the Hulk once punched an asteroid that was twice the size of the planet, so it wouldn't hit Earth. And things like that. So he has actually done stuff like that, been able to like punch uh, shatter an asteroid that was supposedly like twice the size of the Earth with
Holy
one
shit.
punch. And it's ridiculous stuff like that. But to answer your question, as far as Savage Hulk, as far as strength wise goes, there's very few characters that could go toe to toe with him. Thor is able to a certain extent, depending at at what point he is. Because
Hmm.
Thor's also base class 100, but he has things like his belt, which doubles his strength, and he has his warrior berserker rage, which lets him go into become 1,000 times, not 1,000, 10 times more powerful. Sorry, I was thinking 10 times 100. Um,
Too much.
and then,
Too much.
and then of course Mjolnir added on top of that. He basically, he's one of the few that's able to go toe to toe with the Hulk, but that makes sense because the whole reason Thor was even introduced was because Stanley wanted someone who could take on the Hulk.
Hmm.
When Stanley and Jack Kirby brought about Thor as a character, the reason they did it was because Stan Lee thought that the Hulk was too powerful and no one in the current Marvel universe could take him on, and he wanted a character that technically could take on the Hulk and if needed could take him out as a
Hmm.
character. And the
Oh,
first
wow.
thing he thought of was a god, which was Thor. So
Yeah, but that's kind of setting your ceiling a little too low. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh no, the Hulk. Yeah, he's not overpowered. He can be taken out by a god.
you know what I'm saying? He could be taken out by
There,
that guy with the
there,
super hammer.
there are a lot of gods, so we got options.
Well, one thing that they do that I do give them props for, which they mention a lot whenever you hear people talk about it, it's actually they went with Norse gods, which was actually pretty cool because at that point in time, the thing that was used, and they still do it to this day, Greek gods were usually the go-to Greek and Roman ones. So the fact that they used Thor instead of Hercules, kind of at least
Yeah.
at that point. But you're right, still a god.
Is it DC or Marvel that has Samson?
Uh, Marvel,
That's-
but
that's-
Samson's just a mutant.
Doesn't DC have a Samson guy?
Okay, so when you're talking about Samson,
Guy whose hair the hair length depends on his strength, or vice
By
versa.
strength,
okay,
yeah,
so
strength.
so you're talking about Doc Samson, which is the psychiatrist that Bruce Banner goes to,
He's by
whose
his hair?
who has super strength and is supposedly
Right.
has long hair, so they've always assumed that was the base of his strength.
Oh, wow. Wasn't there a Samson in DC though that
There
fights
is,
Superman?
I think
or-
they have introduced I think during Superman, All-Star Superman, they show Samson as a character.
Hmm.
But that's supposed to be like the old style biblical Samson.
Yeah.
So, and they also mentioned that he also was. I'm trying to think if it was in that one. I think it was that one that they said that he was also other characters in history were named after him too, but that Samson was the name that he went by. So, but I'm trying to remember that one for sure. So I'm not going to say that as a for sure thing, but I know there was a Samson in DC as well. You're right, Matt.
Hmm.
In All-Star Superman, I think. In fact, that's where they have
Yeah.
him. He's the
And
one
he-
that ends up arm wrestling Superman.
Yeah,
Nice.
he runs around with a partner, doesn't he? Doesn't he run around with somebody else?
Okay, I don't think they want me to be in the water. Like, two steps from one fight, and I'm greeted with this shenanigans.
What scares me though is how did the creatures from Black Lagoon get into the seawater? I thought that wasn't even that
And
shouldn't be allowed.
Not-
wasn't there only one?
Yeah.
Not only do they get into the seawater and then get on my boat, but they have the tenacity to fucking thriller dance on my goddamn boat.
Thrill
What is?
the night. And
Get out of here, people. Just get.
and what I like is
what's your
not you
issue?
haven't been able to take out one.
I
These guys
know.
are
What
just-
is the
wow.
shenanigans?
They're just taking your sword. They're like, ha ha, this it tickles.
Why is
I
my white
did
mage doing as much damage as my other guy?
Um,
he has Chode's
There we
hammer
go.
now.
you don't have lightning, do you? Because you could always take a page from Storm. Because I hear
No.
frogs attacked by lightning get
Well,
affected
I
the
mean,
same
are you
as everything
sure?
else.
Are you sure? I mean, what happens when Frog gets struck by lightning?
The same thing that happens to everything else.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out.
They get fried.
I actually watched the last 3 X-Men movies recently,
Oh yeah.
and it reminded me how bad of a movie X-Men 3 was.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about it.
It wasn't as bad as I remember. I think I was really jaded at that point, but it's still a pretty bad movie.
Yes.
There's several movies that I think earlier today, Matt and I were talking about the Star Wars trailer and the Star Wars movie,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can't, it's like he asked me, do I think the new movie is gonna suck? And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of have high hopes for it because even though my initial reaction when the first 3 came out, I was too young to fully appreciate the movie. Especially
Yeah, that makes the original 3,
The
like
original
the
3.
4, 5, and 6.
yeah, when those came out, I'm like,
Yeah, well, you weren't even born when
Yeah,
they first
exactly.
came out.
yeah. But I mean, like, I eventually watched them and I had a fond appreciation of them. But they were when I look back on them now, the last 3, the ones
Yeah.
the one episodes 1, 2, and 3, they weren't that bad. Like they're definitely
Okay, so here's my view of that. Okay, so like the first 3, like the 4, 5, and 6, they're the classics. And in all honesty, if you want to know the truth, I really didn't even get into them until after I watched Phantom Menace. Just
Yeah.
gonna point that out. So I wasn't even a big fan of them originally, but then again, that was probably in the same aspect as you. I was younger. They would play them on like on the TV in one of the channels, like during like Christmas time or something, and I wouldn't pay attention to them. So, but then later on, I watched them and I liked them a lot. But Phantom Menace was the first one. A lot of people have a gripe with that one because it brings in a few things that are a little weird, like young Anakin being a whiny little boy that pod races, and then you also have things like metachlorines being introduced after everything that you were brought up to believe the Force was. Suddenly, it was little bugs in your system that caused you to be able to manipulate the Force. So part 1 was definitely kind of like Phantom Menace was meh. I personally like the second one a lot. I like
Which one? Attack of the Clones, right? Is that
Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
That one to me was probably the best of the trilogy. Maybe it's just because of the ass whoopery, the ass whooping that Yoda does at the end. Maybe it's something else, but I liked it the best of the 3.
But they were definitely more action packed, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I've heard from other places and people saying that the reason that they did it that way is because the first 3 is supposed to show, or like Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and the last one, which is I forgot the name of it already. Part 3, Anakin gets his arms chopped off and legs chopped off. They're supposed to be the predecessors, but they're also supposed to show a time when there was a lot more Jedi
Yeah.
and Sith around. The next 3 films, which are the classic ones, they are basically showing a story about Luke coming to the whole thing and them going the rebellion against the Empire. But the idea behind that and the action is, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of blaster and spaceship stuff going on. But as far as the Jedi fighting, you have to put into perspective. The only Jedi that exist anymore are an old guy, a guy who's half robotic, and the one kid that the old guy found and was pseudo training after he's like in his 80s and stuff. So really, it's not going to be that action packed at all. Like Luke was being trained by Obi-Wan,
Yeah, but there
who's
was
already old.
but there was a rebellion. Like you,
Yeah, and well, the idea, that was the whole point, was that it wouldn't be as far as, and Lucas originally had it planned that he wanted it to be a lot more action packed, but unfortunately at that point there wasn't a lot of the
Yeah,
stuff
no.
that they have now,
yeah,
and he didn't have the budget to put it through as well as he wanted, because he actually had in his ideas a lot of like old style kung fu movies and stuff like that, and samurai warriors type stuff when thinking of the Jedi. So he wanted it to be more action packed. But 1970s probably wasn't the easiest time to be able to get all that, especially if you didn't have the budget for it. So, but the idea now is just, it's an old guy, a half robot guy, and the young kid that just became a Jedi. You're not going to see as cool of scenes as, 800-year-old Yoda who's mastered the way of the freaking Jedi and could be jumping around all over the place, or Mace Windu destroying a bunch of robots with his fist and
yeah.
kicking butt, which didn't happen in the movies, but God, it happened in the super awesome Clone Wars cartoons by the guy who did
Yeah, that
Samurai
was good.
Jack.
I watched all of those.
Did you watch all of those, Oscar?
Clone Wars or the CGI one?
The CGI.
Okay, because the ones I'm talking about were the ones that were done between part 2 and part 3 that were done, I think, by Tartakovsky, the guy who did Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff
Yeah,
Girls.
yeah, I remember those. Yeah,
That one,
That's-
those I watched all of. And there's one in specific that I was referencing right now with Mace Windu, where he completely annihilates like this army of robots. And at one point, he completely just loses his lightsaber and he's just ripping into them, punching in through them, and just going at like super speed and attacking all of them. It's like the coolest thing you'll ever see. So highly recommend it.
Ham.com.
Yeah, it's like going super ham.
do they show? Do they still show those anywhere? Are those the ones available on Netflix, or the new CGI one is available on
The
Netflix?
CGI one, I think, is the one on Netflix.
Yeah.
But I was able
6
to look
seasons
up
of it, and they're good though.
I was able to look the Mace Windu one up though on YouTube. So
Yeah, but for anyone out there that's interested in like, the non pirate vote version.
yeah, you got a point. No, I don't think that they have them up on Netflix, unfortunately.
Ain't that a damn shame?
But those
Ain't
were
that
awesome.
just a
And
dick in the ass.
so those, and by the way, those were called the War of the Clones.
War of
Which
the Clones.
wow, this one is called
Attack of the
Clone.
Clone
No. The one Clone Wars is the one that was on Cartoon Network CGI, but War of the Clones was, I think, the one that was by Tartakovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they have this new one called Rebels that I heard was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's supposed to take place, I think, in more modern time and stuff like that. So, like, not modern time. I think it's supposed to take place in between the third episode and
Third and fourth, right?
and the fourth episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so,
yeah.
from what I've heard.
Yeah, a coworker of mine from work was he's really into it. And not into just like Rebels, but he's like really into Star Wars. He's actually part of that platoon, or what is it? What is that the battalion, that fan-based battalion that got the blessing of George Lucas to dress up in their own fan-made
What?
regalia. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's there's an and they do all sorts of charity events, because the blessing was, as long as they do things for not a profit, they have Lucas's blessing. And like they do all sorts of like charity events and fundraisers and stuff like that, all in like the full like suits, like cosplay suits. But they don't do any major characters. They play like Rebel Alliance and stormtroopers and stuff like that. And they register and they all meet up, and it's like full blown like professionalism all about.
Nice. Well, with all that Star Wars talk, I think maybe we should wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
What do you guys say?
Yeah, that sounds
Sweet
good.
deal.
We could wrap it up here. Since
Yeah,
he
we'll
just
wrap
made
it
it to a
here.
town.
Sweet deal.
I made it back to the first town. I don't-
No,
yeah, it's the
what?
very first town.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
we're
get
back
back
in
to you
North
guys.
Carolina. All right, well, I'll look up where we're supposed to go, and we'll catch up later.
All right, later, guys.
All right.
All right,
Peace out, guys. Bye.